Hello, welcome people of YouTube. Right, very exciting day for me today. This is. I've taken my first steps in the world into the world of a modular synthesizer, which is something I've been wanting to do for a hell of a long time. I've just fiddled about on the internet last week, and I noticed that Dopfer, however you say it, I don't know. They make this little mini case, which is about 60 or 70 quid, because the case is usually dead expensive, which you can get 4 modules in. This literally has arrived. The lovely people from DPD have just delivered this to my house literally about 5 minutes ago. So I've just took it out of the box, laid it out on here. So what I thought I'd do is a bit of a video on the basics of modular synths and how to get started with a small little modular system. Obviously this is pretty tiny, but you can see kind of like the size of it against my hand. But I think this is something that will grow into an obsession, and there will be a hell of a lot more of these things appearing in my studio, I think. But anyway, so ready to get started. I'm hoping kind of the modules I've got will be enough just to get me some sort of basic sounds out of this, but then I'm going to be able to control it with some other gear in my studio, which I'll show you later on. Doing this at the moment in my kitchen table, so apologise for the lovely pink and white spotted tablecloth, but there you go. Right, so basically to get started in the world of modular synths, you need some sort of case. Okay, this is the smallest, cheapest one I can find, and this one, if you can see in here, can have, we've got 4 of these 16 pin connectors in there. So we can have up to 4 modules in that, which should be enough to sort of get us started with the basic sound. This is what it's called, the case. It's the A100 miniature case by Dopfer, and I've got all Dopfer modules to put in as well. So that comes with the power supply and so on. So the modules I've got are the A102 VCO, so that's my voltage controlled oscillator, which is obviously going to produce the sound, which has got sawtooth, square and triangle waveforms and other stuff that we can do on there. We've got, next up, no particular order, we've got a filter, the A1065 filter, which looks like we've got low pass, high pass and a band pass, and obviously resonances and so on, and filters. We've got a mixer, so we can put some other stuff into there as well and mix the channels together. So that's the A1300 mixer, which has 4 inputs, and then we've got the VCA, so the amplifier. Just obviously get some sound out of it to take us out into our speakers, which has got 2 audios in and 1 audio out, and obviously CV and gate control and so on. So to sort of work out what I wanted to start off with, I was using the there's a great app, which is, I'm pretty sure it's free, that you can get for iOS, which is just called Modular, and you can basically build your own little modular synth on that and see which modules you want, which I will go and fetch, and I'll show you so you can see what I mean. Right, so here we are with iPad. So where are we? This is the app, if I can just zoom in. Okay, that's the icon for it. So it's just called Modular. If I open it up, and I'm not sure if it'll load up my last one or not. If not, I'll load it in. Okay, there we go. So you can zoom in and out. So you've got a little modular thing here. So the keyboard, this will make sense when I get it into my studio with what I'm going to make there. And then I just kind of planned out what I wanted. So on here, I've got a VCO, a VCF, and a VCA. I did put I got an envelope generator on this as well, though I was just trying it out. So we don't necessarily need that, but you can experiment with that. And there's loads of modules that you can add in down the side. So if you want to kind of get into the world of modular synths without having to spend any cash, and just get your head around how you connect everything together, that's a really good app to get. So I can highly recommend that. So let's get rid of that. So basically what happens with these is you take these 16 pin connectors. The instructions say, if I remember rightly, there's a coloured strip at the bottom. That needs to be at the bottom, so you're in that way around, obviously. And then we just plug those in to the pin connectors inside, and just get one in. This is very exciting to watch, I know. Okay, make sure it's pressed tightly in. Okay, so that's now connected into there. And then you've got little screw connectors here, so we can screw those in and secure them, and we're going to do that with all those same modules. So you don't want to watch me 5 minutes connecting those in and turning a screwdriver, because that would be rather boring. So I'm going to get all those put in, I'll show you the finished product, and then we'll take it out into the studio and we'll try and get some sound out of it. So I will do my DIY bit now. Right, welcome back. So this is actually the first part of the video I recorded was yesterday. I didn't get around to recording the rest of it because I had to do a lot of faffing about to try and get this thing to work, but I've got it going now. Yeah, the plug that comes with it is, which it didn't say in the description, it's a European 2-pin plug thing, right? So I got it out of the box, I thought, great, I ain't got an adapter. So I had to go out and buy one. Thank you, Argos. Plugged it in, didn't work. Okay, got no power coming from into it whatsoever. So I've tried it with like a multi-voltage adapter thing I've got, and there are 2 LED lights. Oh god, I knew I'd do that. Sorry, I'll try not to hit the camera again. Yeah, there's 2 LED lights in the back of here that have to both be on for it to work properly, because it's got to go, I think, from minus 12 volts to plus 12 volts. I was only getting one light on, so nothing was working. I then thought, as a last resort, I'm going to try, because I've got the MB33, which is a little analog based synth, which you've watched my other videos, you'll know about. I thought, right, I'm going to try that, because I know that was a bit specific on working, and hey presto, that one worked. So I'm assuming they sent me a faulty plug. So that's got to go back, so I've got a new plug, because I can't use my MB33 at the moment. But we have got this little beast working. So what I thought I would do in this one, I'm just going to do a quick sort of, I'm going to record actually a proper sound demo shortly, and I'll record that straight to the computer and I'll tag that onto the end of this. What I'm then going to do is I'll probably do a series of videos just kind of talking through getting started with one of these, so absolutely from scratch, which I did a little bit of yesterday, but I'll kind of go through the whole thing. I'll take all the cables out and take everything out, but just for now I've got it set up so that the microbrute is controlling it. Okay, so that is playing the modular. Okay, so that's the filter. Now I've also got it, if I just turn the camera around this way. Okay, the way I've got everything set up is that the Electribe is kind of like the main centre of my studio. And that's connected to all my other gear by MIDI. If you want to know how I've done that, there is a video on that. So I can actually sequence the modular from the Electribe, because that's basically passing into the microbrute. So that's sending the messages out of here, and then that's sending the gate and control voltage messages out of here. So if we get on the keyboard setting, okay, so that is playing the modular. So if I just hit play on the TR8, which is here, okay, it's got like a basic. So what I've done is I've programmed just a basic bass line into here, basic drum pattern, and then I'll just fiddle with a few of the things on here, and I'll do this with better sound quality in a minute as well. Okay. So filter, at the moment I've got the resonance turned all the way up, so I can get some nice squelchy sounds, screechy sounds. Okay, so that's with the saw wave. If we try the square. Okay, let's turn the resonance down a bit. Okay, so that, I mean, that's just purely playing with the filter. And yeah, I was going to say something else then, I can't remember what it was. So as you see, lots of wires everywhere, which is kind of messy, but I you know, you can never have enough wires. What I've got at the moment is I've got it going through a couple of effects pedals on the top, these Behringer. So that's a delay, that's a chorus. I've also then got it going into this mixer. I've changed slightly my hardware setup. I'll do an updated video on that at some stage, which is then going through the MX1 and then to the main speakers out. So I've got loads of routing possibilities with effects and so on. So that's the... So obviously I can layer up the sounds of the microbrute with the modular. So that's the microbrute on its own, which needs a bit of tuning. Let's just tune that. Okay, so that's the the microbrute layered up with the oscillator. What the hell's a oscillator? It's a modular. That's an oscillator on a modulator. Oh, whatever. Anyway, shut up, don't. So that's quite nice that I can layer up the sounds for those on here onto the modular. I can also use the envelope, obviously from the microbrute. I'm going to go through all this in more detail on future videos. I'm just giving a quick run through of what I can do. So we've got the envelope CV out going to the envelope on here. Just turn the microbrute down. And I think I messed up the routing on that. I can't remember how I did it. But anyway, yeah. There we go, hold on. There we go. Okay, it's a bit quiet, but that is... So that's using the envelope here onto the VCA, the amp on here, so that's giving me... Will give me the release and so on. I need to turn the gain up a bit. Okay, so that's using the envelope on here, which I can also put into the filter. Let's see if this is going to work. Let's turn the level up. Okay, and so on. So I'm going to, like I say, I'm going to go into this in loads of detail in future videos. So yeah, that's a quick little overview of, just turn off, of how I've got it connected up for now, and how I'm controlling it. I can also control it with the, there's a couple of other things I'll do first. The TB3 has got CV and gate out, so I can control it with that, so I can sequence it from there or here. There may be an Arturia key step or beat step on the shopping list at some stage. The other thing I've got, because at the moment I've not actually got an LFO module for this, I can run the I can affect it from the LFO from the microbrute. He says, let's stick that back in there. Oh, no. Let's do the filter. Okay, getting a bit quiet, let's just turn it up a bit. Right, so that's the LFO from the microbrute affecting the filter. Why am I playing that? I don't need to play that. Okay, so obviously we've got the rate and the amount we can use from there, so we can use that just as an LFO. The other option we've got is this little thing, patch blocks, which if you don't know, check these out. These are pretty cool. These are little kind of modular things that you can program, and I've got an LFO programmed into here. So I just need, let's plug that back in how it was. For some reason I've messed stuff up, but anyway, I can also use this as an LFO. Okay, so this controls the rate, the amount, that's the rate. Okay, and there's very different settings on that. Again, I'll go into this in future videos. And actually that will take, I've got that plugged into a Volca, so when that's playing, that will take sync from the Volca, and you can sync the LFO up to everything else. So, alright, I'm going to shut up now because I'm jabbering on quite a lot. So I'm just going to, I'll probably record a quick demo of a few of the sounds I can get out of it straight into the laptop, and I'll stick that onto the end of this video, and then watch out for like the full series on starting from scratch and how to patch it together and get basic sounds and so on. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.